How is it going, everyone? We've got some more Crimson Desert updates to go over in this video ahead of the creator embargo lifting in just a little bit on March the 4th. And on top of that, we have a little bit of an update on when the actual embargo for the full reviews are going to be published. So we'll talk that. And Digital Foundry uploaded a very in-depth video, the first look on the tech of the Black Space engine. And that engine in particular is what makes me a little bit more, at least optimistic for Crimson Desert as opposed to if this game was running on Unreal. So we'll talk that at the end of this video very briefly. But first of all, as I've been mentioning, if you have yet to pick up the game, go ahead and check out greenmangaming.com or Crimson Desert. You can use the code MAR15, that's MAR15. You'll save 15% on the game. You'll get it for $59 and change. You'll get a Steam code that redeems directly on Steam, and you'll be good to go just off that. Again, $59.49 on that. You can get the deluxe edition as well if you'd rather pick that up, and the pre-order bonus will be included as well, the Kaled Shield. So check that out, link in the description box below. If you end up picking it up, we do get an affiliate kickback, which is much appreciated. So there is a Korean forum that has some information on various specifics, especially about the base building in the game. Greymane Camp Management. Cliff's Base Greymane Camp is not just a resting place, it includes management simulation elements, companion dispatch system. This had been noted in one of the feature videos. As mentioned earlier, if you recruit scattered mercenary companions and gather them at camp, you can dispatch them to specific regions. While the player is adventuring, they gather wood or rare materials and more in real time. Construction and expansion using collected resources. You can upgrade facilities in the camp, such as the main hall, smithy, dining hall, etc. The better the facilities, the higher the tier of craftable items become. Farming and ranching, you can directly grow crops or raise livestock inside the camp. Ingredients obtained here are used for high tier cooking, which is essential for combat. Interaction with living NPCs, RDR2 level AI is noted. One of the areas Pearl Abyss focused on most is making NPCs more than simple background characters, which I always appreciate, especially when it comes to these ambitious open world games. I've said it before, but when it comes to open world games, especially ones of these scale, my major worry is when you're talking about a significant world in terms of size, but there's no depth, there's no meaning in a lot of the elements in that world, and it doesn't feel alive. Based on what we've seen thus far, it seems like Pearl Abyss has done as much as they could to stay away from that, so hopefully that'll parlay into the entirety of the game. They note NPC schedules. Every NPC has their own daily routine. They wake up in the morning and go to work, take shelter indoors when it rains, and return to home when to sleep at night. NPCs also do not behave uniformly depending on temperature and environmental conditions, which is impressive. Reputation and bounties. If you steal items in a village or attack NPCs, a bounty is placed on you. Guards will pursue you, and in serious cases, you can be imprisoned. That's shown in the footage. Conversely, helping townspeople with requests can earn reputation benefits such as discounted shop prices. Crime and punishment realism. Note, it's not just about guards chasing you. Witness an assassination. If there is a witness when you steal or attack someone in town, they will run to report it. If you fail to bribe or stop the witness before they report you, your wanted level will increase. If you're caught during a manhunt, you're sent to prison. You can either serve time or solve puzzles to escape. If you escape, all your equipment will have been confiscated, triggering a detailed quest where you must infiltrate and retrieve it. Now, how many times are you gonna loop through that quest? And that is something that, okay, how many variances are there going to be in terms of going to this stealthy sequence and then getting your equipment back? And that might be a little bit mundane, but hey, don't get caught. And you'll probably avoid that. A dialogue system, you can talk to almost all NPCs. Their reactions change depending on Cliff's condition in terms of if they're covered in blood or holding a weapon. That's Cliff, that is. Detailed life skills, fishing, not just waiting. It's a hand-focused minigame where you feel the controller vibrations and feel according to the fish's movement. Cooking over a campfire is portrayed very realistically. Depending on the ingredient combinations, you gain powerful buffs such as increased maximum HP or faster stamina recovery. Horse taming. When you find a wild horse, you must throw a rope and tame it yourself. Each horse has different personality traits and stats. As you build affinity and increase proficiency, you can use special mounted combat skills in battle. And environmental interaction. Temperature and weather temperature is displayed on the minimap. In extremely cold areas, you must light a fire or wear thick clothing to maintain body temperature. If you get wet in the rain, you take increased damage from lightning magic. The environment itself also becomes stretchy. The amount of depth and nuance to the various aspects of the game, again, this is what I like to hear about when it comes to open world games. The visuals can be great, but is there depth into what is being shown? And based on this level of attention to detail, it seems like a resounding yes, there is a lot of depth and attention to detail. Element-based environmental interaction. Ice arrows are not just for freezing enemies. Shoot an ice arrow into a river to create footholds to cross it. If you cast lightning magic during rain, it deals wide area electric damage. The environment itself becomes a weapon. Again, that's a level of depth that adds a layer to there just being, you know, weather effects. It goes beyond just there being weather effects that are actually impacting your gameplay decision making in environments that interact with the various things you can do in the world that offers it depth as well. I think that's incredible. If you set grass on fire, flames spread depending on wind direction. Okay, again, that's another big aspect of that attention to detail. You can use this to turn an enemy camp into a sea of fire, or conversely, put out flames by making it rain. Mercenary management details, gray main management, additional information about the mercenary management system, real-time assignments at camp. You can order companions to go on a certain village and gather information or mine ore in a specific area. They carry out missions for several real-time hours with progress displayed on a status board where you go other activities that return with rewards. Companion growth, the more you fight together, the more bond you build with companions. High bond levels unlock powerful cooperative finisher skills. I imagine they can have, you know, these incredibly in-depth narrative arcs with every single companion. There's gonna be a lot of companions in the game that you can send out on missions and your entire camp. I think it would be foolish to expect every single one of them to have an incredible amount of depth. You'll have the two other playable characters, and I'm sure they'll get a lot of attention and a lot of depth to them, and maybe some other ones, but I would keep your expectations in line just so we're not expecting the absolute world out of it. But a lot of excitement there in terms of the attention to detail and the overall depth that, you know, a lot of the mechanics in the game are mechanics we've seen in the past, but it seems like there's a layer of attention being put to it that we haven't seen a lot of games put it all together and all in one box, and it feels like Crimson Desert is gonna have that. I do also want to note, the embargo for creators is gonna be lifting on March the 4th. That's the 6 hours of playtime they had, and they're gonna be able to talk about that. However, Metacritic reviews will be unlocking 7 a.m. Korean Standard Time on March the 19th. Now, that might sound like that's the day of release. The game is launching at 7 a.m. Korean Standard Time on March the 20th. So the reviews are gonna be going live one day before the official release. Before that makes you batten down the hatches. Oh my god, what does that mean? Are they not confident in the game? Expedition 33's reviews went live a day before the game came out, and that game was Game of the Year. There are a lot of games that they do wait until day before, week of, etc., etc. I don't think it's that big of a deal that it's not week before, especially given that this is a game that you want to give the reviewers as much time as possible to explore all of the different elements of the game and, you know, give them time to put out the reviews, and you don't want the story spoiled. This is a hotly anticipated game, and giving them a day of lead time, that's gonna give people ample enough time to make their decision on whether or not they're gonna buy the game, given so much of the game buying is done digitally, so I think that's fine. There was the in-depth Crimson Desert first look video at the Black Space engine, the tech preview by Digital Foundry that really showcased a lot of the visual nuances, the ray tracing elements, and how well the game is performing. Now, ultimately, this is not the console performance. We're still waiting on the console performance, but this was running on an RX 7900 XTX, a Ryzen 9 7900X 3D with 32 gigabytes of system memory, and it was running at 4K, which is rather incredible for the performance it was pushing. So that's a video most of you guys are probably aware about it, but if you want to deep dive into the engine, that showcases a lot, and it seems like at least the PC version of the game is going to run really well on PlayStation 5 with PSSR 2.0 and the updated PSSR. It'll be interesting to see how it runs on PS5 Pro. I imagine on Pro, it's going to run really well. The real question is, how is this going to run on the PlayStation 5 base console? Because most of the PlayStation 5 audience are on the base console. They're not on the Pro, and that can't be the barometer that we're going to gauge this game's console performance. Look, a lot of us have a Pro, but you guys are going to be the more hardcore audience. Most people buying this game on PS5 are not going to have the Pro, so it'll be interesting to see the performance on that level as well. That'll do it for me. Again, check out the link in the description box below if you want to pick up a copy of Crimson Desert on PC. You'll get the game a little bit cheaper, a lot of excitement around the game, and getting very close to the release. It's out March 19th. That'll do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.